Ask you about the last season of Game of Thrones.
Go ahead.
Can you not answer anything? Are you allowed to answer anything about
Well, it depends on what the question is.
Do you know how it ends?
Yes.
How did you find out how it ends? You read the whole script?
I read the script, yeah.
And how did you, one word on how you felt when you read the last episode of Game of Thrones?
Well, it was such a mixture of feelings. No, one word, I don't know. I was excited, and I thought that, Dan Weiss, David Benioff, the creators, they just couldn't have done a better job on ending our story.
Do you think fans will be satisfied?
I was satisfied. I don't know. I mean, I think it's one of those things. There'll be a lot of, who knows? It's always that thing. You don't want it to end. If I'm watching a show that I love, I just don't want it to end. So any ending is kind of like, could we just? What about? But no, I think they will be satisfied. I know everyone on the show we've worked harder than ever before. Like we spent twice as much time shooting these 6 episodes than we did on 2 full seasons before. No expense has been spared. I mean, we've gone all in. So we really hope that people will like it. We've done our best.
Have you already filmed your final scene?
I've filmed my final scene. Yes.
Was it emotional for you?
It was. Yes, it was. Yeah.
So it's gone from your life now. It's done?
Yeah, I don't think it'll ever be gone from my life. No, I'm going back to Belfast next week, so I'm not 100% done. Mm-hmm. But the last scene in the script, I've shot that, yeah. The last scene with me.
The last scene with you,
yes.
You shot. Was there anything that happened to your character that you were like, this can't happen? Like, did you, throughout the season, were there times where you
the seasons?
Were there times where you thought, I can't do this, or I don't want this to happen to him, or like, are they going down the right path, or this is a point of no return?
I mean, I think there was, shocking moments, and I think that's what the show has been very good at. It's such a fine balance, where is the shock too big, or is it taking? I think that, for me, when I read if there's 2 moments that stand out. The Shireen being burned at the stake, I thought was just cruel. I mean, it made sense story-wise, and I understand why they did it, but I just couldn't watch it, and it was difficult to even read it. And then I thought that it was very disturbing when, the name of the kid who was still being breastfed when he was 7?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
It was it was so weird. And wrong on every level. But no, other than that, I think the beauty of it, it made sense. I mean, even the most extreme things, they've been driven by story. And I think at this point in the show, up until the final season here, we're really, you're reaping the rewards of that, the work that's been put into all these characters. So now, as an audience member, you're kind of invested in every single one of these people, mm-hmm. which is, I shouldn't talk about the ending here. But it makes it for very interesting storytelling, I think.
How has Game of Thrones changed your life?
I don't know if it's changed. It's a difficult thing. I think that you spend 9 years with someone. You're going to be, like 9 years ago, you were a different person. So it's difficult to say that, well, I'm different now because I work with Variety, or because, well, you've met other people in your life. A lot of things happen. What is unique about this, as an actor, you have to learn very early on, I had to learn in my career that you get so close to someone, and it's so intense, and then 2 months later you have to say goodbye, and you might not see these people again, or you might work again 10 years from now. So you have to learn how to let go and not get too attached. At the same time, you have to open up. But here, it's been 9 years since we shot the pilot, so you have gotten to know someone very, very well, and I really like these people. I mean, one of the guys said it the best. We've had this amazing. I don't know if this is allowed to say, but there's been no assholes on the show, and we've had a big cast and a huge crew, and we haven't had any assholes. It's quite something. So, to answer your question, has it changed me? Who knows? We change all the time. But I'm going to miss all those people, that's for sure.
Hey everybody, it's Charlie. So Nikolai Coster-Waldau was at Cannes recently doing a whole bunch of interviews for other projects. Of course, people were asking him about Season 8, so let's break it down. If you're finding me for the first time, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. There's a new round of the giveaway for that 4K release. They're releasing Game of Thrones seasons in 4K Blu-rays now, but it's going to take them a while to get through all the seasons, so I'll remind everybody about that at the end of the video. All you have to do to enter those is just be a subscriber and leave a comment on the video. So his comments about the ending were similar to what he said before. I did another video where he was doing separate interviews. I'll link that at the end of this because he said some similar things, saying Dan and Dave did their own version of the ending that was most true to what the series has done, will very likely be different from George R. R. Martin's Dream of Spring ending for Song of Ice and Fire when he finishes writing that. And if you haven't read any of George R. R. Martin's comments on that subject, people have been asking him now that the show is ending, will you change your book story based on what the TV show has done? And he said, oh, most definitely. There will be things that I will do that they'll never be able to do on the TV show. That was even before Season 7 came out, and he was mostly hyping up the return of Lady Stoneheart, but there's just many, many more characters with very different arcs that he'll have to resolve, so obviously his ending is going to have to be very different, even from a practical standpoint, even if he didn't want to stick it to Dan and Dave by doing something really cool that you would never be able to film. The other cool thing that Nikolai says is that he's filmed his final scene in the script, like the very last Jaime scene where he probably winds up dying in the arms of someone he loves, but he's probably already headed back to set to film more scenes. So if you haven't been following any of the behind the scenes, they're just doing big action scenes at King's Landing right now. So they have finished filming a lot of the characters' final moments, but there's just a lot of big practical CG work that's left to be done. So if you're going to have a dragon flying around King's Landing, there's just a lot of other stuff besides actors on set having intimate moments that you need to do for that. So that's what they're going back for later, even though those scenes won't be the final scenes of the actual episodes. When he talks about them reaping rewards on a story and a character level, it's them paying off these series-long arcs and big twists, answering the biggest questions, like how will they defeat the Night King? Which characters are going to die? Will Jon Snow and Daenerys have a child? Will there be more dragons? Then the reunions paying off big separations, like Arya and Gendry coming back together, Jaime seeing Bran for the first time since he pushed him out the window in the pilot. Then I love him talking about his favorite WTF scenes. Obviously, the burning of Shireen during Season 5, Episode 9 was really heart-wrenching because you love that character, you love the actress, they had spent so much time developing her character with Sir Davos, and they paid it off so well with Davos and Melisandre in later seasons. But then also, the funny thing is that his other big WTF moment is the breastfeeding of Sweet Robin way at the beginning of Season 1. That was when Catelyn went to the Eyrie to get Lysa's help with Tyrion that sort of precipitated the events that led to the War of the Five Kings. So if you guys didn't hear, other related news is that Game of Thrones confirmed that they're not going to be doing a Comic-Con panel this summer because they're still filming technical stuff right now. They're probably going to wait to drop some footage till they have something that's a little more polished. Like they'll be working on CG for most of the rest of the summer while they finish some of the practical effects. But what I'm expecting is because in previous seasons when we would get 10 episodes per season and they would premiere in April, is that they would usually start dropping footage around November. So that's when I'm expecting the first actual footage to start dropping. But right now they're shooting the Watchmen HBO series. I think that they're going to try and finish that so they can premiere that right after the Game of Thrones finale and we'll just transition into that show. But like we've talked about before, they're not going to premiere the Game of Thrones prequel series till the year after the finale airs. So it's going to be 2020 when the prequel series drops. Probably sometime April, May, but it'll be 10 episodes. The one that we've heard about recently, I've already done a video about, is The Long Night during the Age of Heroes. It's sort of like a Night King origin story. But they'll be filming that soon, so we'll get a better idea for what's going on, what the characters look like. So I'll do videos for the prequel as we get more stuff. Then there's the Targaryen prequel story, Fire and Blood, that's going to be dropping later this year in November. Leave all your video requests in the comments below. Congratulations to the latest giveaway winner, Just Ice. Please private message me so I can get your contact details. Click here for that other Jaime Lannister video, and click here to learn more about what's going on with the prequel TV series. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.